Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Hi, Jero, how are you? Hi, Nee. Hi, Dragonfire, how are you? How's everybody doing today? Hi, Susan. Nice to see you. I hope everybody's having a good day. Good to see you too. Hi, Nozomi. I'm well, thank you. How are you? I don't have a ton of time to be on live today, but I wanted to check in with everybody. Hi, Carrie. I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. It's actually been a good day. I mean, of course, when I say I'm okay, day to day, general, but I really miss Jimmy, of course. It's been a really, I don't know, introspective time. But overall, am I okay? Yes. Yeah. It's one of those things where you have to get used to a new normal, which is so surreal. Like the house feels empty, like something's missing. Bonjour, mon ami. So I'm just doing my best. I feel like I walk around the house and I talk to him and say, Jim, where are you? Like you're supposed to be here. Um, I ask him if he wants his snackies, and I feel like he hears me. Hi, Tori. How are you? Hi, Kanal. How are you? Hi, Sky. Hello, Ono. How are you? So this is the new moon in Gemini. I'm really curious to know how everybody's feeling. Thanks, Kat. How are you doing? Abhishek, I would like to think that I look like the furthest thing from the Kardashians show. Um, but I don't know if that's a compliment. Hi, Lena. So tell me, everybody, what's your word of the day? Oh, you meant it as a compliment. Oh, okay. Good evening, Sandra. How are you? Hi, Diane. I'm okay. It's been a good day. But like I said, it's been a little bit of an adjustment into this new energy without Jimmy. You feel sleepy? I feel like the lighting, like the sun today, it comes out, that it goes away. It comes out, goes away. I was just filming a bunch of readings for you guys. A lot of interesting themes, a lot of love themes, a lot of communication themes. I'm kind of curious to know how you're feeling. You feel very light. Okay, that's good. That's good. Today seems quiet. It is kind of a quiet day. I mean, in the United States, it is Memorial Day, correct? So happy Memorial Day to my American viewers. Can I introduce myself? Sure. My name is Kelly Lorraine. I was a high school teacher for 18 years. I've gone through spiritual awakening. I read tarot cards, read energy. Hi, Nick. How are you? Happy Memorial Day. Shall we get into the cards and see what's going on today? Do you feel isolated lately? I think that the Hermit card has been coming out a lot too. So I don't know if any of you are feeling the urge to take some time alone or to figure things out. Oh, you had a spa day today. Nice. I'm okay, Nick. I mean, I had a good day. I'm not going to lie. I had a good day. But that's also because I was doing really nice sessions and good chats, deep chats. I've also been doing something kind of like retrospective too. You've been seeing a lot of Hermit card. I've been recording a lot of stories of my journey that I want to share. I've been keeping track of some notes and some things that I really want to talk about. And so that has made me feel nostalgic, but also like good about how far I've come. Hi, Jen. Hi, Daniel. So I don't know, like it's been a really interesting weekend for me. Last night, oh my goodness, I had the most crazy sensation in like the crown of my head where it was almost like burning and it was like energetic and it actually felt like my crown chakra. And so that was kind of like, holy, like what am I going through? It almost feels like this new moon is kind of more like a full moon. And I don't know if any of you feel the same way, where it feels like we're letting go of a lot of things, right? And then going into the new, the beginning of the long awaited Kelly Lorraine autobiography. Kinda, Nick, kinda. I've always talked about this. It's not that I'm afraid to tell the whole story. Like, not that I'm holding back a lot. It's just, you know what it is? I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to, hurt my ex-husband. I don't want to hurt any family members. Not that there's anything really to say that's hurtful, but my story is also my story. Hi, Steph. Oh, thank you, my friend. Hi, Susan. So do you know what I mean? Like, I think that there's a lot of things that I want to talk about, but I want to talk about them from like a very general perspective, because I think that a lot of us can really identify with going through divorce and spiritual awakenings and twin flame journey and boundaries and narcissism and attachment styles and all these different aspects of the last 10 years. And you know what's interesting? Yeah, Nick just said change the names to protect the innocent. Um, you know what I find really interesting? And no, I would never use names. I would never use names. Um, Jimmy passed away at 10 years old. What have I been talking about these last months? The last 10 years. The last 10 years of my life. That's when everything changed. House flood. I want to talk about the house flood. I want to talk about cheating. I want to talk about what led to all the changes. I want to talk about how to deal with things, how to recognize patterns. I know my Jimmy. I miss him a lot. Yeah, Carrie, you can relate. I want to talk about being left holding the bag. I want to talk about the holding the bag story, which is something different. Diane just said, I think you could publish an awesome autobiography about my spiritual path. Thank you, Diane. I have a lot to talk about, and I think I'm finally ready to do that in the way in which I've always wanted to. I've just been a little bit hesitant to do it, Hi, Henry. How are you? So yeah, I have a lot of things that I want to talk about and record, but I'm not there yet. Oh, well, thanks, Jerry. I appreciate it. Yeah, they're very they're very pink, very pink. Um, Nice to meet you too, Emmanuel. Thank you. Yeah, I plant the seeds of what I wish to grow. So there's definitely a lot of things that I want to talk about. I need a roommate. I'm good, Emery. I'm good. I've got great company. Um, but it's one of those things where like I've been very reflective, and I think I kind of overdid it, even though I didn't mean to overdo it on the weekend, where I was in deep thought. I was, recording all these stories into my phone so that I can remember them. And yeah, I don't know how to explain it. I must have like overdone it, because then I started feeling kind of sick last night, where I think it all caught up to me. Like it's been a whirlwind. Jimmy died on Thursday, and I'm like, my goodness, like all these energies, all these feelings, all these things. I think it just kind of like hit me last night. Oh, you need you're just asking if I need one. Okay, I didn't see a question mark. Nick just said, okay, but we got to vote on the maintenance men's nicknames. I think you're trying to think of like spicy stories of like people coming into my home to fix the pipes. That's what you mean, right? Yeah, Anne Marie, Jimmy, if you're referring to Jimmy passed away suddenly on Thursday. See how the light keeps changing? It's getting light and dark, like the sun is coming out and then like it gets dark all of a sudden. Carrie remembers Manny. Yes, Manny was interesting because Carrie, you were there that day on a session with me. The day that Manny came in, I don't know if you guys remember this. I had yes, I had a flood to my other home, but in this home there was a oh, what do you call it? Oh my goodness. a water main pipe that, I was gonna say that blew, that exploded right near my garage, under my driveway. And Manny and his crew, they came and they tore up my entire driveway, like tore up the, and now I will say I did get a brand new driveway covered because of it all, because it wasn't under my home, it was in my driveway. And that day, Manny did some really nice, and I know this is gonna sound, I know what you're gonna say. It wasn't spicy. He did a lot of really nice things for me. Like he helped with, there were some things in my garage his crew helped me with. He helped carry a futon up my stairs. He went to the store and bought a part for one of the valves in the backyard. Like yeah, it burst. Yeah, it burst. The water main burst. And he was so, so nice. And so, yeah, Carrie, you were there that day when I remember when I was like saying goodbye and thanking him. Yeah, and that was the day that I got, oh my gosh, hold on a second. Let me tell you a funny story. That was the day that this deck, oh, oh my gosh, of course. This deck arrived in the mail for the first time. And there was a typo in the deck. And the deck, it says, it's the roundabout card. Let's see if I can find it. Do you remember the story of like there was a typo? Yeah, Carrie remembers the card. There's a typo. Okay. Hold on. The repairman card says many working parts, but it's the roundabout card. Here it is here. I think it's the roundabout cards. Yes. Okay. The day, and I didn't know Manny before. I don't know any Mannys in my life. Okay. And, oh, thank you, Cherry. I appreciate it about Jimmy. And so this card has a typo on it. And the typo on the card says Manny working parts, M-A-N-N-Y, instead of M-A-N-Y. And that was the day that I opened up this deck for the first time, and Manny had just been here. He was like almost like an angel sent to me that day. I've never forgotten it. Now I've never seen him since, but it wasn't about, you know, the connection in that sense. It was just more like he really helped me out that day. My whole driveway was ripped apart. There was fear that I would have to pay for a whole new driveway and all this work, or I mean, my insurance, obviously. But it was such a nightmare considering that I had previously had a $100,000 house flood in my previous home. So anyways, yes. I didn't think of that story being part of my autobiography, but I just remember that day. It was really like a display of kindness is how I would describe it. Now I just dropped these cards all over the place, but that's okay. So, hi, Mike. I'm well, thank you. How are you? Yeah, many thanks to Manny, of course. Yes. So, it was an interesting story. So, yeah, I've been reminiscing about a lot of things. And I think last night I took a salt bath. I think a lot of the energy just kind of got to me, you know, like all of this stuff with Jimmy and I appreciate it, Popo. Like, I mean, that it meant a lot to me that I did that. So, all right, everybody. If you didn't get a chance to yet, tell me your word of the day. How are you feeling? Hi, Mark. How are you? We'll get into it. So yeah, I've been reminiscing. Oh, and I don't know if I continued my thought. What I was going to say is that, isn't it interesting? I adopted Jimmy when I was married to my ex-husband. 2015, picked up Jimmy. 10 years later, Jimmy has passed away. And I've been talking about all these things that have been happening over the last 10 years, and it's almost symbolic. It's like really this like death and rebirth, you know? So stop and go, overwhelmed. You're feeling down today, Beach? I'm sorry to hear that. Neutral, awake yet tired. Perfect, Mike. End of a karmic cycle, Nick. Exactly. You've had heavy headaches. I've had headaches for the last few days, but that's because I've been upset about Jimmy probably more than anything. So let's take a look at the current energies today and see what we need to know. Oh, the cards are kind of jumping for some reason. You know me, I very rarely drop my cards. Grief with both smiles and tears. Exactly. You know, like I have this understanding of it. It doesn't mean that I'm not sad. It's just a different, I don't know how to explain it. Like I'm very sad about him and I miss him, but I also accept it because I couldn't have done anything. Like I really couldn't have done anything. Yeah, you're reminiscent. You've seen a lot of memories. Mm-hmm. You rarely ever get headaches that I've had them the last few weeks. Yeah, because there's a shift happening. There's, like I said, this new moon feels like a full moon. It doesn't feel typical, you know? And I think that there was this nudge that's telling us we got to make a move. Like there's a push. And you're either going to go for it or you're going to fight it. And if you fight it, oh, it's going to hold you back. It's not going to be pretty. And I'm sorry to say that, but it just feels like if you're willing to go that extra mile and to make it, you're going to be happy. But if you fight that shift and you keep on like with that stubbornness or that pride or that ego, it's going to be hard. And to each their own, right? I mean, everybody's in a different position, but you've got to be very careful right now with how stubborn you're being. And Abigail just said, yes, I'm going for it. Yeah, go for it. Do it. What do you have to lose? Like really though, like what do you have to lose? So the cards must want to give us a powerful message. So maybe I should use this deck. I just gathered them all up. So hi, Suzette. How are you? Thank you for your care, Suzette. I really appreciate it. So let's see. Let's get into it. Let's kind of feel out the vibes. Oh, Bodini, I had 3 cats. So Jimmy just passed, so I have 2 cats. So thank you, Felix. Yeah, Daniel, we got to ride the wave, right? So let's see. Hi, Becca. How are you? Hi, Jose. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. So let's see. Current energy today is the King of Cups, the emotions. Are you in tune with your emotions today, or are they getting the best of you? Be very, very careful with your emotions right now. Guess what? Guess what card just came out? First card out of the deck. Manny working parts. Now, the roundabout card is asking, are you going round and around and around and around and around and around? Or are you making new connections? So it's interesting because this is about keeping it moving. Hi, Shuggy, how are you? This is about keeping it moving, new energy, not repeating old stories. Because the more you repeat old stories, the more you're going to get the same old, same old. So that's kind of what I've been saying. Like we have to allow ourselves to be in this new energy. Now the potential or the challenge, we have here the 9 of Swords. 9 of Swords is all about worry and anxiety. And you're right, we can't predict the future. And we can't change the past, 100%. Cards are not going to tell you the future. They're going to tell you your energy. That's right, Nick. Are you in the old or are you in the new en français? Oh, Diane, I'm so sorry. But this is basically saying we're worried about what's next. But what choice do we have but to be in new energy and go towards better things? You're not sure how when your teen keeps bringing up the past. Well, Amethyst, I'll tell you a very easy way to address that. You don't entertain the conversation whatsoever. You just don't. You don't engage in it. If you don't want to be in the past, you don't engage in it. Don't entertain it. Don't allow it. It's one thing to understand something, but it's another thing to allow it. Right? So, let's see. The ballet shoes, you've got to be strong. You've got to have stamina. You have to make the other person feel more uncomfortable than you. You shouldn't feel uncomfortable. If your boundaries are this, that, or whatever, then you've got to maintain them. What about family? Even when it's family, Melissa, even when it's family. I've been there, done that. I know how it feels to have to go against the grain, especially when your family wants one thing or your parent wants one thing and you want something else, or your partner or a friend or whoever. Hi, Isabel. You have to have enough strength to push through even when it's difficult. They need to feel more uncomfortable than you do, which means you gotta hold your own. Oh, thanks, Shaggy. I appreciate it. So yeah, don't engage unless it's necessary. 100%. Why get involved in something? I always use the analogy of a tug of war. Like, you're not going to have a tug of war if somebody lets go of the other side. You can't ride a teeter-totter by yourself. There has to be someone on the other side. If you don't want to engage in something, don't. You won't have the argument. Oh, Amethyst, I can help you with that. If you, I mean, I was a high school teacher. I understand teenagers, let me tell you. Jason, I'm sorry that you're going through that. I see that in your comments quite often, and you can't change anything, but you can change the now. Yeah, Nick just said, remember, this is your life and your journey, right? So thank you, Joey. I appreciate it. Yeah, of course you can, Amethyst. Of course you can. But Jason, sometimes the truth isn't revealed, or truth is subjective. And I'm not saying you're wrong, but what I'm saying to you is the more you try to push something, the more resistance you're going to get. Hi, Lucia. I'm well, thank you. How are you? Hi, Melinda. How are you? Yeah, we are the main characters in our own story. Yes. So what we need to focus on today, justice, equal giving and receiving, and balance. If something is not balanced, then you have to ask yourself, is this serving me? I'm from Canada, Jeffrey. Your sister is toxic. She doesn't understand anything you're going through or care. So stay, yeah, exactly, Sarah. All you can do, don't chase anybody. Don't reach out. Don't look for the validation. Unfortunately, if someone's not reciprocating, even if it's your own family, you have to leave it be. That's up to you, Jason. Totally up to you. It's your choice. If it's working for you, then do it. So let's see what else we need to know about justice. There's the baby, new beginnings. New energy, sparking new things, being creative is the key to moving yourself in a new direction. Thank you. I appreciate it. It is a tough loss. It is a tough loss. Jimmy was so important to me. And all I can do now is think about him and look at old pictures or videos. And I mean, you know what's interesting? I forgot to show you guys. I didn't put it in the memorial that I made, the little video that I made, but I wanted to show you a picture. I don't think you guys ever got to see Jimmy. You're welcome, Jason. Jason, it's all going to be okay. It's all going to be okay. I wanted to show you a picture that was so cute of Jim. I just wanted to show you, look how young Jimmy was in this picture. Thanks, Kathy. I really appreciate it. Sorry, Kathy. I think I missed your comment before and I meant to respond. Look at little Jimmy when he was like, I don't know, I think this is when around the time just after I got him. And yeah, he was one of our mascots. He was the BTE energy. And so Jimmy was just super, super cute. Hi, Roven. Yeah, he was really cute. Oh, thanks, Bunny. Yeah, he was really cute. And it's funny because I know it's not a very clear picture, but this was Jimmy when he was a kitten, which is like, I don't even know where I have pictures of Jimmy as a kitten. But look how like light colored he was and how fluffy he was. And yeah, I know, like, I don't even know how, like, I didn't know where this picture was. It doesn't even look like Jim. It doesn't even look like Jim. But that was Jimmy probably when I first got him. And when I first got him, he was maybe, I don't know, 5 months old. But he had that kitten fluff, you know, that kitten fur. Yeah, and Gretchen, I know Gretchen's been gone now 1.5 years. Karma's almost 2 years old. Oh, sorry, I'm lying because Gretchen has been gone almost, well, no. When did it go? November 23, November, 2 years. Oh yeah, 2 years in, that's true. 2 years in November, Gretchen is gone, which is crazy. Oh, thanks, Melinda. I appreciate it. That's okay. I appreciate it. Yeah, he's not far, Anne-Marie. I know he's here. I know he's here. The recent past, hi, Jalen, is the strength card. Having the strength and the courage to push forward even when it's difficult, right? The recent past is somebody's been saying it's unlikely. Like there's been doubt and trying to fight that feeling of doubt. You know, thank you, Kathy. I really appreciate it. So the strength position right now is the Tower. How many of you feel like you're having a bit of a Tower moment? I think with the loss of Jimmy, I would describe it as a Tower moment because I didn't even see it coming. Like there was no indication that he was sick. So for me, I think it was a Tower moment to sort of recalibrate or to reset. And I just want to tell you that Tower moments, although they're uncomfortable and unpleasant, I would say that they can be a positive thing as well. You know, oh, thank you, Sky Girl. I appreciate it. Yeah, Diane, it's time to start manifesting new things. Hi, Violet. Hi, Jay. So you feel like you've had a Tower moment, Lucia? Your fridge and your dryer died this weekend. Oh, Susan, that's like such a pain. I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh, especially because like you've got to refrigerate your food and you got to dry your clothes, depending on the weather. Obviously, maybe they can go outside. That's frustrating. The Sapphire, mental force and clarity. I've seen this card a lot today, actually. It's telling me that whatever the Tower moment is, it's bringing clarity. And I feel like Jimmy's passing has actually brought me some clarity and some retrospect and some, I guess, hindsight about what I've been through, you know? No, Miranda, I don't necessarily. Yeah, it was a bit of a gut punch for sure. Visit me personally? I don't do any personal visits. Yeah, clarity can be such a blessing. That's right. Tower moment today. Embrace the new. Near future is the Ace of Cups. This is all about filling your own cup, right? This is about a new emotional beginning, which is exciting. And there's the fine print. All I would say is, you know, it's time to maybe do a deep dive, because this is also about like a deep dive into, you know, where you're at. You can't change the past, we know that, and we can't predict the future, but we can look at where we're at, how far we've come, the things that we're aspiring to. And I'll tell you something that I said in a session today, and I'm wondering if it's resonating with you too. I want you to think about this. Can you believe that we're almost in June? Like the year is halfway. Didn't it feel like we were just at Christmas talking about setting intentions? What do we hope for 2025? And then now I'm looking at the calendar and I'm like, it's June? It's going to be June. I mean, I know we're not June yet, but like, it's going to be June. Thank you, Joe. Like, it just feels so odd that we're already at the halfway point. And I would describe it like this. So I was recording about my house flood, you know, like thinking about notes that I want to make for videos and things like that. And it sort of came up that my house flood wasn't how do I describe it? It was almost like the middle point. It wasn't my downfall. It was the middle point, because it really didn't signify the absolute change yet, because the change happened a year later. But it was like a midpoint. And I kind of feel like right now we're at a midpoint of the year. So if we're trying to get to a goal or trying to get to a change, we have to address where we're currently at, right? So I kind of feel like it's important to understand where you're doing well, where you're not doing well, how you can improve. It's almost like an evaluation time, if that makes sense, you know? So, hi, Peter. How are things in Arizona? Yeah, not fast, not slow, just ebbs and flows. You got it. Is time speeding up? It certainly feels like it. It certainly feels like it. A bit of what do you truly want? Has this changed from the start of your journey? Yeah, Nick, because I mean, like, I'm seeing so many cards today that are the Hermit, the Nine of Cups. You know, these are asking you, like, what do you want? Like, what, I feel like I'm with a notebook, like, what do you want? You know? Thanks, Daniel. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Like, I think it's really important right now to determine the direction in which you want to go. And I think people are so afraid of the next direction because it's like, well, what if I'm going to make a mistake? Or what if I'm judged for it? Or what if it doesn't work out? Whatever. Look, you have no way of knowing. I always say, be a Roomba, you know? Hi, Jules. How are you? A Roomba spins around the room. If it hits a wall, it redirects itself, right? It's kind of like the idea of setting new intentions. Yeah, like evaluating where you're at. Suggested approach is the Seven of Cups. See, you have options. What do you choose? And be careful with illusions. Be careful with illusions. Because again, you marry potential, you divorce reality. And this came up quite a few times today. Remember that. We put people on a pedestal. We put situations into this, you know, utopia. And we have to look at things with discernment. Like, what is the actual situation? Is the car in the driveway, as I always say? You know? Hi, Gail. Susan just said, I choose to be happy. That's what it comes down to. How badly do you want it? Yeah, perfect timing because of the new moon in Gemini tonight. 100%, Nick. It's like all these things are coming to light for me, especially with Jimmy's passing. Like, I've just had this real deep thought and reflection about at least the last 10 years, right? And we all have fear of the unknown, but like, what choice do we have? I mean, it's a coin toss. I mean, if you're not sure about something, toss a coin. Just go with it. See where it takes you. Like, really, what do you have to lose? Mike just said the car is totaled and repossessed. Sarah just said, I want it more than anything. Okay, so if you want it more than anything, you have to create it for yourself. That means we can't have old stories, old situations. We got to work through it. You know, I was talking about the digging of a tunnel in my video the other day. Like, you can't just start digging the tunnel and then stop. Let me ask you a question. And I know it's not the most popular movie in the world. How many of you have ever seen the movie The Count of Monte Cristo? And the reason I ask that, I love French history. So, of course, I love the Three Musketeers, The Man in the Iron Mask, and then The Count of Monte Cristo, Alexandre Dumas. Love that literature. But how many of you have ever seen The Count of Monte Cristo? And I don't know if you remember it, Jim Caviezel, Guy Pearce. It's been a while, but a great movie, great story, very Hollywoodized version of the book. But there's a scene, and I'm sorry, spoiler alert. There's a scene in the movie where Edmond Dantes is in the Chateau d'If. He's in the worst fictional prison you could ever imagine, you know, the most abusive, and everybody's innocent who goes there. They know they're all innocent, but they're there for a reason. And he wants to gain revenge on everybody who's wronged him and put him in that. I love that movie too, Kat. And they put him into the prison. And he meets this priest, okay? And the priest tells him that they can dig a tunnel to escape. And I want you to picture, if you know the scene, they're digging and they're stuck and there's a little light and they're trying to like dig through, and all of a sudden a bit of the you know, tunnel caves in. And Edmund has to decide. He has to decide how badly he wants to make it through. Now, in that situation, you can pull backwards and go back into the cell, like the prison cell, or you can like dig and make it to the end of the tunnel. You can't just turn around. Once you've gone a certain distance, how can you turn back? And that's why I'm saying to you, if you're in the process right now of trying to find your way, can you really unknow what you know? Can you really unsee what you've seen? I don't know about you, but I can't, you know? And so I think of that movie scene. If you haven't seen that movie, go watch it. It's a great movie. It's a great book. Yeah, very Scorpio energy, long game for revenge. I mean, he was hell bent on revenge, right? Because he wanted to get back at everybody who wronged him. But we also know by watching the movie that that's not the way, right? But essentially, it's about digging through the mess. You're not going to be able to get around it. You're going to have to go through it. And who wants to go through it? I don't know about you. I mean, who enjoys that? Nobody. But if you really want the new energy, if you really want the love, if you really want the good stuff, then man, you got to work through the difficult stuff. And I know we often say, like, why can't it just be easy? Why does it have to be this difficult? Why do I have to learn these lessons? Well, that's the soul contract. Remember the old joke with me and my friend? You chose this life. I chose this life. I chose my mother. I chose this. You did, Tanya. You did. You did. And we used to laugh about that. I mean, we didn't, hi, Jennifer. We didn't necessarily, we don't remember making those choices. But if you really think about it, our souls made those choices. I don't know why. I don't know why we did. I can't answer that. But all I'm saying is, those are the cards we've been dealt. We've got to make the best of it. We've got to find a way. What choice do we have? You know? All right, let's take a look at what do we need to know. And we have the 10 of Cups. 10 of Cups is happiness. It's one thing to ask for happiness, another thing to allow it. Are you willing to allow it into your life? Some people don't know what to do when they get what they want. That's why self-sabotage comes into play. That's when the nervous system kicks in. That's when the emotional pain body says terrible things that, make us lie to ourselves. Yeah, we must not have read the fine print. I hear you. And sometimes we blind ourselves from our own happiness. And that's sad because we've got one life to live that we can remember right now, right? Hi, Renata, how are you? So let's see what else we need to know. The hope and or fear is the 2 of Cups, partnership. A lot of lovey vibes in the air, by the way. When I was filming my readings today, I kept seeing love, 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 love. The lovers, Gemini, decision and love. So, hi, Alyssa. No, I'm not tomorrow, but I will on Wednesday. I will on Wednesday. And you know what's interesting, Alyssa? I was hoping that I would be able to, but it didn't work out, unfortunately. But I will on Wednesday. But I don't think it's, no, it's not with you guys. But I'll probably see you around. Yeah, there's a lot of lovey vibes, Val. So 2 of Cups and the rainbow. The rainbow is all about wishes, right? Wishes coming true. Again, we wish for love. We wish for partnerships. But are you willing to let that in? Hi, Pilot. How are you? So let's take a look at the probable outcome. What do we need to know right now? Hi, Greggy. How are you? Probable outcome is the 9 of Pentacles, feeling good in your own skin, self-worth, self-value, and self-respect. Bonjour, Mathieu. Mike, you're funny. It'll automatically arrive. I won't have to give anyone your number, Mike. Although I would love to be a matchmaker. You guys know that that's something that I think I'd be really good at. We do, Kat. We have to get through the darkness to truly appreciate the light. And I know you understand that. And it's not easy. It is not easy. Anybody who's ever been through a health crisis, an accident, a scare, a divorce, a break, whatever, it is not easy. It is not easy. But anything is possible. Yes, I'll be there Wednesday. I'll see you Wednesday for sure. I appreciate it. Let's see, 9 of Pentacles. We wouldn't know the light without the contrast. That is for sure. And there's the dice. We had the tossing of the coin, and now we have the rolling of the dice. Hi, Dulcie. How are you? How are things in Australia? Take a risk. Are you willing to take a risk on yourself? Do you believe in yourself? Because that's what it's all about, you know? Hi, Emily. No, it's not a paid reading. It's a general collective reading. I do personal readings. But you're going through a breakup right now. I'm so sorry. Melinda, sometimes these things are about waking us up, teaching us some lessons, unfortunately, but you'll be better for it in the end. You know? Yeah, Melissa, I have to say the cards were good. I mean, I guess I asked you your word of the day, but is there any feeling that you have or any question that you have? What's on your mind? I think there's a lot of overthinking also right now. There's a lot of illusion of mental entrapment is what I keep seeing in the cards, you know, the Eight of Swords. Like, I just feel like this is one of those times where you've got to think deeply about what it is that you want and be serious about it and be honest about it. And here's the other thing, truth. Like, what is the truth? You know, what is something that you've been ignoring lately that you know is the truth? Yeah, the roundabout resonates. You know, because I was reflecting back to my house flood and I was thinking, why didn't I make a move? Like, why did I hold back? What was I scared of? I was afraid of judgment. I was afraid of what my friends would say, what my family would say. I was ashamed. You know, my ego was hurt. You name it. There were so many things. And like, why did I let that stop me from living my life, you know? And so I think that a lot of the times we don't want to acknowledge, you know, some of the things that are true. What was true at the time was that my marriage was in the toilet. It was on its way, that's for sure. And that's okay. I take responsibility for my end of things. I don't blame him necessarily. I didn't deserve what I got, but I don't necessarily blame him either. You know? Oh, thank you, Kai. That's very kind of you. You're scared, but you want to move forward towards new things. And then anything is possible, for sure. For sure. Thank you, blessings. I appreciate it. We started, I don't know, 42 minutes ago. So, Emily, when you ask, when will you meet your future spouse? I say this to you with respect. Putting a timeline on something or putting an expectation on something means that it will give you resistance. If you let it unfold naturally, you have a better chance of getting the love and the spouse that you're looking for. But if we do this when, you're trying to control the outcome. So my advice would be make sure that you're not putting expectations and let things work out the way that they're supposed to. So Heather, it's the same thing that I just said, and I say it to you with love, you know, or Melissa, will I move on to a new job? If you're asking will, when, how, like who, what, when, where, why, and how, all the question words indicate doubt. So when I was teaching French, I was teaching the subjunctive verb tense, and anytime we had doubt, right, it was the subjunctive. So if we had question words, that automatically made the tense subjunctive because of the doubt. So remember that anytime you're saying, will I be happy? When will I find my love? How will I, you're doubting yourself. And I'm not saying it's wrong to ask questions. I'm just making the point that if you're constantly questioning the who, what, when, where, why, and how, you're going to bring yourself doubt. That means you're not clear with the universe. You got to use power statements. I am love. I am abundance. I am is so powerful. Is your shadow work ever truly done? No. I think we'll be doing shadow work until the day we leave this earth. We're never 100% fully healed, right? So, yeah. You know what's interesting, Nick? Nick just mentioned about friends drifting apart, and I did a reading about that today. It's funny that you said that. I think that that's come up again where your community, your tribe is shifting. Yeah, say thank you for whatever you want, Carrie. Exactly. It's like you already have it. Don't feel guilty for being happy, Mama. Are you kidding me? It's a blessing to be happy. If somebody is not happy for you because you're happy, that says more about them than it does about you. I'm bringing you back to high school for the French. The subjunctif. Even, listen, I question I'll ask you, Matt, as a French speaker, even learning the subjunctive, I think as a native French speaker would be hard enough. You know? So it's not a verb tense that's very easy. Il faut que tu fasses. I mean, like I don't even, like I think about it even myself. Like I have to really think about some of those rules sometimes. But granted, in English, it's the same thing too. You know, hi CL. I'm doing okay. Kitties are okay. With Jimmy now gone, the other two don't seem to notice, which I find very interesting. Le subjonctif, c'est compliqué. Oui, absolument. Vraiment. Hi, Peter. Good afternoon. How are you? C'est dur. Oui. I mean, how often do you use the subjunctive? I mean, I guess it can be part of everyday speech. I mean, we can say, you know, il faut que tu fasses. I don't know. Yeah, when you don't use them, it's tough. Have a wonderful night, Susan. So straight out of, if you're asking, will you get married to your boyfriend, be careful because you're trying to control the outcome. And I know you really want to know, but that's my point about trying to control things. You have to let things unfold naturally. Your nickname is Jimmy? Nice. No, I'm not in Quebec. I'm in Toronto. You're funny, Becca. Well, I better let you guys go. I've got a few things to do. Volleyball was rescheduled from, I don't know, a previous week to tonight. So I think I might have volleyball 2 times this week. I don't know if I'm feeling up to it because, like I said, I wasn't feeling very well last night. I think it's all caught up to me. But I'm okay. I'm good in general. Just sad a little bit about Jimmy, of course, because he's been with me for 10 years. I don't even know how to go around the house without him. But I guess every day it'll get a little bit easier. I know he's here somewhere. I'm actually kind of interested to see his blue heart when it comes in. You know, I'm excited, yet I'm also kind of like nervous about it too. Hi, Debbie. How are you? You have family in Toronto? Nice. Thanks, Jose. Thanks, Peter. I appreciate it. Thanks, Sandra. Oh, Ranjit, my cat, Jimmy, just passed away on Thursday. All right, everybody. Thanks, Steph. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you all very soon. So I'm going to say goodbye to IG first. Thank you. I send you love, and I wish you a wonderful night. Take care, everybody. Bye. Okay, YouTube, thank you so much. Oh, thank you, Blessings. I really appreciate it. Merci. Nick, we lose every time. We lose every time, but that's okay. I don't think we've won one game this whole season. We'll try tonight. It's the quarterfinals. Thanks, Sarah. Thanks, Jose. Thanks, Becca. Take care, Matthew. I wish you guys a wonderful night. I'll talk to you soon, Sarah. Thank you so much. Bye, baddies. Thanks, I will, Jose. I will. I'll be on soon. I don't know if I'll be on tomorrow. I'll try. But anyways, I'll talk to you all very soon. Thank you, YouTube.